Alright, welcome back everyone. This is PapaSean and we're looking at Stellaris and how to uplift a pre-FTL species. So we found a civilization that's a primitive. It's late medieval age. So we're going to bring our construction ship over. We right click and we build the observation post for 50 minerals. Alright, so it's currently in the process, 27% through there. And how you might find these civilizations is to look at the galaxy map, and as you're zipping around you might see a little hatchet, like a little axe on that, and that indicates that there is a planet that has primitives on it that are pre-FTL.
Complete.
Once you locate it, you come over here, get your construction ship, you build that observation post. Now not everybody can raise them up to their NFTL species, and you might not know whether you are able to or not unless you take a look at the policies. So you won't be able to see this listed in the policies until after
Construction complete.
Encounter one of these pre-FTLs, but once you find them, you look at native enlightenment. And then it says here we have native enlightenment.
Incoming transmission
could potentially be shared with more primitive societies.
Incoming transmission
for them to explore. You can prohibit it or you can allow it. So I'm going to go ahead and click allow. And this is going to make some people unhappy within the populace. And then there's native interference. There is
colonization in progress.
Much knowledge to be gained from studying sentient life forms. We're going to do unrestricted.
Incoming transmission.
Now that we look at our observation posts, and we want to do technological enlightenment, you see that we have to have the policy native enlightenment allowed, and you cannot technologically enlighten primitives that are fanatic xenophobes. Okay, so if we take a look at these guys a little bit closer here, they have the ethics of xenophobe. Traits are adaptive and tender preference. So because they're xenophobic, they're not going to be allowed to be able to be uplifted directly by us doing the technological enlightenment. If they hadn't been a xenophobe, we wouldn't have had this problem, because we did allow for native enlightenment, and that was again in the policies section. You can use the F6 hotkey, and so if we look at native enlightenment, it's now selected for allowed. I can't switch back to prohibited for 10 years. And what can we do now that they won't allow
colonization in progress?
We can aggressively research them, or we can
colonization
just have a passive
in progress.
Research. Let's go ahead and do an aggressive research. These guys are going to generate a 6
colonization
society
in progress,
and we do want to still conquer them. So if we take a look at them, they have armies. They've got 3 armies here, and they have a strength of 0.13. Alright, so let's go ahead and build ourselves an assault force here in the neighboring, and looks like the Tzin
research complete.
Assault army is going to be a little bit stronger. Let's go ahead and create 2 of these.
Incoming transmission. Colonization in progress.
That's new for me. Galactic Stock Exchange, you get an extra 10% energy credits to build that. Alright, so we're building up a army here, and it's going to tick down at 45 days remaining.
Incoming transmission.
It comes out to a second a day. So what you can do is you can land your armies on these planets as long as you have unrestricted. If you're a xenophile, you will not be given the option to take them by force. But we'll show you what happens here.
Incoming transmission.
Because they have 3 armies, normally you'd want to have 3 armies to fight them off, but if you look closely, the damage is 0.16 to 0.33 versus our army.
Colonization in progress.
That has a damage of 2.67 to 5.34. So there's a good chance we might actually be able to succeed. And so I was a little quick there. Land armies, that's 30 influence costs, so it's really cheap because we're located in the same area. They're within our borders. So we're going to go ahead and land on them with this guy.
Colonization in progress.
Quickly give him
colonization in progress.
Well, we just got a domination of victory. We'll go ahead and continue. And I think it might not be too late to assign them a leader. Boom. Alright, so that'll boost their damage. But you can see how 1 soldier is able to take on 3 of these primitive army units. It's like they're using swords and bows, and we've got lasers and shields and armor on our infantry. So we are landing and blowing them away. And they actually have an army modifier plus 10% on their side. It must be pretty strong. So we've wiped out 1, 2, and now 3.
Incoming transmission. Enemy planet secured.
And so we've subjugated the primitives. It's not what we wanted initially. We were looking to get them brought to FTL as a vassal or protectorate of us, but now we've subjugated the primitives. It says our armies have successfully invaded and subdued the primitive forces. The locals have given up all attempts to fight back, and we have now subsumed their civilization into our empire. Although backwards as they are, it may take some time for the natives to become fully productive members of the Super Shining Star Society. To them, our weapons must have appeared like magic. Alright, so these guys, if I look at the surface, they're not going to be too happy because they were just annexed, subdued. So they're going to have all kinds of debuffs. They got stellar culture shock, which is minus 10% on their happiness, and impoverished conditions. That's just because I'm not using as much in the way of minerals for the consumer goods. Alright, so they'll slowly catch up. It says the stellar shock shouldn't last more than 10 years here. Alright. Again, the station that it was built on, the observation post, has disappeared completely. And that happens when you take them over. And you no longer get the society bonus from them. But we now have another planet in our vast empire, and as we just saw, we got a victory for
construction complete.
So you never want to leave them alone to grow up on their own, in my opinion, because it will take away space from you. So even though I had a planet here already, if this planet had learned FTL on their own, they would have taken over all the space here, and nothing would be able to be built by my people any further except for ships within the station. Same thing goes if you uplift them, but then you can have them become your vassal. You can even gift them the other planet, and it still counts towards your victory. And also they will fight on your behalf, so you just don't want an independent faction sitting there right inside your own lands. You could potentially work a deal with them. I'd prefer rather not to have any planets in the space of another alien, since I'm not able to build there. But I hope that's helpful to you guys. You got a couple different options. You can uplift them, you can take them over through subterfuge, or you can land your armies on their doorstep and let them know they're now part of your empire, whether they like it or not. Enjoy you guys' selves and Stellaris, and have a good one. Catch you next time.